That's right. Take a deep breath.
Do you feel like in the last couple of days here that you have like targets stamped on your forehead?
Not just on my forehead, but in the right between my shoulder blades and my back as well.
Let's talk about a couple of people and a couple of entities here before we get into issues. There's certainly enough people talking about you, so let's talk about them. Not the last time he was in, but the time before last, Larry Westerlund was in. He made a big issue about how he was going to be the candidate who didn't get mixed up in any of the talk. He was going to leave it to the other guys to fight it out. He was not going to get involved in any of the personal issues between any of the candidates, and he was going to be the guy that just kept real quiet about that stuff. And then he came forward with a mailer, really punching the hell out of you.
It came to my mailbox.
It came to your mailbox. So he sort of broke that vow. Respond to that mail piece that went after you, and then I have a follow-up question about Mr. Westerlund's appearance in this race.
Well, first of all, Ray, thank you for the invite, and thanks for allowing me to be here and be a part of this, because I really do want to talk about some of the crazy things that's gone on in the last couple of days. Ray, it is obvious that we are catching fire. We have momentum. Things are moving in a positive way. We have run a positive campaign. I've stayed clean in this campaign. We responded to the negative things when we needed to, but we've never initiated them, and we have stayed on the issues, and we've worked hard. Thank you, folks, for responding so well to that. Channel 30 had a poll up, I guess, was it last week or so, about having me up 4 points. Well, bingo, guess why the target was painted on the forehead. And Mr. Westerlund, and I think Mr. Denham, continue to raise this sort of grumpy complaints about the gap. And I don't know where they're getting their facts. I have no idea where they're getting all of the nutty stuff that I keep hearing. But they do attack the gap and say, lousy deal, Jim's got to come clean. And
I'm sure they're getting it from the mayor that followed you.
I don't know. I'm at a loss to understand the second part of this attack that has come from a former mayor, from Mayor Autry, who talks about having to clean up my mess. Well, the fact of the matter is that Ashley Swearingen is having to clean up Mr. Autry's mess right now. He has gotten the messes mixed up. And look, the city of Fresno was left in good shape. The city of Fresno had 8 years of balanced budgets. The city of Fresno, we were able to cut the crime rate by 70%. The car thefts went down. We were fiscally responsible. We were able to do those kinds of things and keep your water, garbage, and sewer rates flat, so you didn't have double and tripling of your rates. We didn't raise taxes, and lo and behold, now I'm leading, I guess, in a race for an honorable seat, Ray, an honorable seat in the House of Representatives in a difficult time, and a couple of candidates I think have stooped to some dishonorable methods to try to climb their way into the seat. Let me just say about the gap real quick.
Please.
$250 million in construction from a Fortune 500 company that employed 1,000 construction workers and presently employs 1,000 people today. It is the single largest tax producer for 2 school districts in that area. It has been looked at and lauded as one of the most competitive efforts by a big city in California to keep and hold a statewide company from departing, from leaving, from taking a hike from California. It was a good deal then, it is a good deal now, and I am getting a little tired of people who weren't there, didn't know anything about it, essentially telling lies about it. And I challenge them then, both Mr. Denham and Mr. Westerlund, then why don't you just be true to your convictions and take the next logical step? Tear down the gap. Give them back the $250 million. Fire the 1,000 people who are working there. And stop seeing that cash flow of property tax to those 2 school districts. Stop it. Both of these guys have histories, I think, of reckless spending, reckless decisions. Mr. Westerlund has voted this city into millions of dollars in debt. by supporting bailing out the baseball stadium for a second time. $5 million washed down the drain because of really bad decision making at Granite Park. $15 million to the Metropolitan Museum. I'd have vetoed all of those things. I'd have stood up and said this was wrong. And so I think there has been an effort here to attack me, to do so with information that is dead wrong. And I'm not just the one that's discovering this and speaking about it. When it started, and I think it was Mr. Denham that started it, and now Mr. Westerlund is piling on, the situation is that the Fresno Bee discovered on its own, when it reviewed the attacks, that the information was false, and said so in the Fresno Bee. So it's wrong, it's false, and it's desperate, and they ought to stop it, because it does grave damage and disservice, I think, to the Gap, to the people who work hard there, to a very, very good competitive effort to bring a Fortune 500 company to Fresno, which is what we need. And I am getting tired of other people complaining about Mayor Autry's mistakes and saying that somehow the mayor has cleaned up after me. No, Ashley Swearingen is cleaning up after Alan Autry, and that's the truth.